Hello there, how are you doing? Today is a special occasion, not today but this week, and that is that KDE is celebrating their 20th anniversary. So I'm going to open this German beer. I mean, I lived in Germany for a long time, so kind of either way, that's the beer I drink every day. So there is nothing new about it. But the new thing is KDE. Um, I, 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 I mean, of course, I knew about KDE from the very early on, and I got introduced to KDE by I think Knopics, and then one of my best friends, Atanu Datta, he was a heavy KDE and OpenSUSE user, but I never used KDE to be honest. I was always a GNOME user because it was easy to use, it was simple. But something around 2011, when Canonical and GNOME projects, they decided to kind of move to GNOME 3, and Canonical decided to go with Unity. And it broke my workflow. So that's when I started looking at alternative, and that's when I found, not found, but I rediscovered KDE, and that's when I found that OpenSUSE was the best distribution to run KDE. So I chose OpenSUSE with KDE. I keep saying the word KDE and KDE, but that's actually not correct because KDE is actually a community now. It's not a product or a project, and this community creates a lot of different projects and applications, and they do a lot of different things. The product that you use is actually Plasma Desktop, and I think Aaron Sego gets kind of the credit for creating the whole Plasma Desktop. So what you use is actually Plasma. So whenever you say I use KDE, please say I use Plasma Desktop. You don't use Microsoft, you use Windows, right? The interesting thing is that what I liked a lot about KDE was less that it gives me an alternative to GNOME or Unity. What I liked about it was that from the software side, I discovered that I was able to customize a lot of things which were not possible in GNOME. I don't want to kind of take names of any other projects, but I'm just kind of doing comparisons. So please know people, I use GNOME right these days, so don't get offended. But KDE kind of allowed me to customize almost every aspect of my desktop, from the desktop to fine-tuning applications to file managers. No matter what you look at, you can fine-tune it, you can customize it to your own needs. So that is one thing that I loved a lot about KDE, because I started using multiple displays or monitors, and with KDE it was very easy to kind of optimize each display for your need. Second thing was, thanks to this customization, you were able to get total control over your system, which was not possible with a lot of other desktop environments. So these are two things that I loved a lot about KDE. And when you put this software with the amazing community that KDE is, that's a perfect mix. Because I found that KDE community is the most welcoming and warm community out there, or warmest community out there. I mean, a lot of other, like GNOME and KDE are the two biggest communities out there, and they're both they're doing a lot of great job. But I have, most of my friends are from the KDE side. I have a lot of friends from GNOME side also. Shri is a very good friend, but it could be because I lived in Germany and most of the KDE developers are from Germany. So let me just turn this low so that I don't burn my food again. Most of KDE developers are from Germany, so that could be a reason, but we kind of, that's the kind of my circle. And I started a KDE community on Google Plus, and then they asked me, so I just handed over the community to them. I have very good relationship with them. They do a lot of work in diversity. They empower a lot of developers from different countries to come and work on KDE's projects. There are a lot of female leaders in the KDE community. That's something that we need these days, diversity. The beauty of KDE community is that typical European, typical German mindset that they believe less in talking, they believe more in doing stuff. So they have done all these amazing things, but you don't hear much about them because they like to do than to talk. That hurts their marketing, but that also earns a lot of respect in my eyes, because they do a lot of these amazing cool things, uh, not just with the software but also with the community and diversity and a lot of other things. And while talking about these cool things, one of the strengths of KDE and one of the reasons why I respect and like them so much is that it's a very innovative community. If you look at all the work they have been doing for a long time, and if you look at the commercial proprietary world, which talks a lot about those work, you will see that the KDE community was kind of way ahead of their time. Like Mark Shuttleworth or Canonical, they started talking about Convergence, whereas Aaron Sego and a lot of KDE communities already had that Convergence story with them, where they created different kind of versions of Plasma for different use cases. Aaron Sego also came out with the bold idea of Vivaldi tablet, which was running on Plasma mobile, which is their mobile version of the desktop. If you look at things like KDE Connect, nowadays I love my Apple ecosystem, because it doesn't matter whether on my MacBook or on my iPad or on my iPhone or on my Apple Watch, I get messages everywhere. I don't have to be on a particular device to be able to communicate with my friends or families. KDE was building those things before that. With the Canonical HUD was quite popular, it was already there in KDE. And these are just a few examples. If you dig deep, you'll find so many different examples of so much amazing work that the KDE community has done. And they also have something where you can plug in your Android device. I think that's the KDE Connect, and you can. So I mean, I don't want to get into details because I have very little time. But the point is that they have always stayed ahead of competitors, and they are very brave people. Also, they like to take risks instead of sticking to what works, even if that means that it will keep their market share secure, but users will not have access to a lot of innovative features. So they take risk and they get beaten for that, but that's what we value in today's world. If you look at Google, why it's ahead of Apple, because it's actually innovating. Even if Apple has a larger market share, Google is the one who will be driving our technology wars toward the future, not Apple. So I really love what they're doing. Now there is a new mobile phone from Purism coming out, and it will be available with Plasma Mobile. So these are certain things that I love about KDE, and I just wanted to talk about it today because of the 20 years. And since KDE community is quite forward looking, it's very innovative and very risk taking community. Going forward, I have a few requests to them. I talked to a lot of people like Thomas Fiver and all those people in the KDE community, and this is my open kind of request to you guys, is that since I cover virtual reality, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and all those things a lot, and I feel that Linux is way behind. Linux desktop, Linux is actually powering all those things at the infrastructure layer, at the edge device layer, but on the desktop, Linux is far behind. So my kind of pledge or plea or request to the KDE developers is, please focus on machine learning. How we can use machine learning on the Linux desktop to improve a lot of things. Machine learning does not mean building terminators. A lot of people who don't understand machine learning and artificial intelligence, they love to spread fear about everything. But machine learning can help in a lot of different things. Like, for example, machine learning can help in finding photos. Machine learning, artificial intelligence plus deep learning. If you are looking for a photo from Germany shot in that year, you don't have to use the tags that are there. They're like, that's how Google and Apple, they do that. You can find it. So I think KDE community should invest some resources in building these forward-facing or future-looking technologies into the KDE desktop. They should also work on building a virtual assistant. That's something we need on the desktop side, because I have both Pixel and MacBook, and I use Siri a lot on my MacBook, where I can just tell Siri to kind of, okay, disable notifications, or open this or that. It's still basic, primitive, but it is there. So they are building that platform. So I would very much expect that, KDE community should do something in that direction. Third is, please do something about virtual reality. I'm heavily into virtual reality. I have PlayStation VR. I have Samsung gear. I have Google's Daydream. The only reason I'm not investing in Oculus is because I don't know about their future, and it runs on Windows, and I really don't trust Windows 10 for a lot of my work. I run Windows only in a virtual machine. So from the desktop side, I have not explored virtual reality at all. So please, KDE people, work on virtual reality. So these are 3 projects that I am assigning to you before you turn 25, and that is, please bring machine learning, artificial intelligence, and deep learning, bake it into the KDE Plasma desktop, get us a virtual assistant so we can talk to KDE's Plasma desktop. Her name or his name could be Plasma. Hey Plasma, can we do that, or whatever you want to name it. And third is virtual reality. Please do these things. Rest, you're doing amazing job. I love you, whatever you guys are doing. Keep it up. Thanks, and we look forward the next 25 years, 30 years, 50 years, 100 years. Keep doing the good job. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to this channel. See you next time. Bye. I have to eat my food now. Bye-bye. Oops. Oh, sorry.